This is my branch de-sticker. Welcome back, everybody. Today we are in Canazai in Italy to discuss all things steep. Yeah, I'm talking steep riding, of course, because, well, we're in some traditional alpine steepery right here. So sit back, take it easy, and let's dive into some shoots. Before we hit the steeps then, we kind of need to know how to do them, where our body should be on the bike. So let's run through a basic body position for when we're going down that scary stuff. The most crucial thing with steep terrain is to have your body weight back over the saddle. What this is going to do is give you the most control and stop your weight and your bike from pitching forwards when it does sort of start getting near vertical. And that is never a good thing. The best way of doing this is to drop the heels. Now what this does is when you drop the heels, it's automatically going to shift your body weight back behind the saddle. You'll extend your arms, not completely locked. You still want them to have an ever so slight bend in them just to be able to absorb and move around easily should there be any jarring motions. The steeper it gets, the further back you'll shift your weight. So your hips should almost become in line with the rear axle, really keeping things back. Legs nice and bent to absorb the impacts and real smooth on the brakes. And crucial here, always, always, always keep looking ahead. It's kind of a standard thing to do in riding a mountain bike anyway. It's good to see ahead. But here is even more important because you not only want to sight what's coming in and during the steep, but also your exit out of it. A great way to practice your body position is on something slightly mellower to begin with. So find a nice gradual slope, practice that body position, and then as things get sort of more and more of a gradient, you'll end up just progressing and moving your body weight back. As things progress, you're going to have to progress with your braking as well, which is the next point we're going to talk about. Braking control on the steeps is different almost to how you would brake normally mountain biking. I'm not talking you just don't brake or anything like that. But a lot of the time, when you're going full ham on a downhill track, you'll use the front brake to scrub a lot of speed. Now, actually, when it gets so steep on the trail, because your weight's so far back, your back brake comes into play here a lot more as well. You'll still use the front brake a lot to scrub your speed and modulate that speed. But because the weight is on the back wheel, like I said, you're going to have to use that a lot more and be really careful feathering it, not to lock it up. Dropping the tyre pressures can help here to give you a bigger contact patch with the rock or the ground or roots or whatever you're going over to give you maximum traction. As soon as you start to lock up a wheel, that is when you're in a bit of a trouble. Try and be real gentle on the brakes, almost pulling to the point where they do bite on, but not quite. Let's talk looking ahead and line choice then, because they kind of go hand in hand. I've got like a nice steep rooty section ahead of me here with 2 lines coming in and 2 lines coming out. So what I'm going to do, I've checked it out. Basically, you've got the lower line coming in, but that's going to make the corner really tight and push you out wide. And you can see here, if I shimmy on down, that it's happened to a lot of people and they've just blown out the turn completely and it cocks up the next one. So what I'm going to do is set up high, coming into this section, real modulate my speed down the steep part to then come in tight and cut across so it gives me a better line coming out and to set up for the next turn. Now that's why looking ahead is so crucial, because if you didn't check that out beforehand, you may not see it. We've got this pretty steep section here, covered in roots. There's even a drop halfway down it, and it's covered in this loose, marbly, gravelly dirt everywhere. So what's going to happen is if I'm too heavy on the front brake here, because all my weight's back, it's going to lock up and skid around, and that is something you don't want to happen. So you've got to be extra vigilant on that front brake, real careful, and really modulate it. On the flip side of that, with the back brake, if there's a few turns, we've got a few turns further down this gully here, I'm actually going to lock that back brake up and use it to flick the back end around for those quick changes in direction. Like I said, always careful on the front. And I'm not going to be too stiff on the bike. I don't want to tense up. You definitely don't want to tense up. I'm going to try and let the bike move around underneath me so that it dances with the ground, if you like, and never try and force it too much, because that's when it can blow out from underneath you. But there's only one way to put that to the test, and I think we better drop down through it. Whew. couple of C's for you now when you're going down to those tough bits of track. Confidence and commitment. They go together like peanut butter and jam. If you like that anyway, I love it. Anyway, confidence on a section. Don't hit something if you're not confident that you can do it. Try and visualize it first to really sort of get yourself in the zone, imagine yourself doing it, and it just put you in the best frame of mind that you can do it. If you're not confident on hitting something, don't hit it. There's no great rush. You can always come back to it. There's no point going into something sort of half-assed and then being like, ooh, halfway down, and then that is where the commitment goes out the window. And like I said, they link together nicely. As the confidence grows, so does the commitment. And commitment is crucial. Imagine you're at the top of this section here and you're just about to drop into it. You've got to come into that knowing that you can do it, knowing you've got the skills. And you do, I promise you, you've got them. If you've practiced, you'll have them. They'll be deep down buried inside there. And as soon as you make that commitment to drop over the edge and nail that section, that's when you'll really absolutely clean it good and proper. I promise. It just takes that little bit of sort of mind power. If you like, you've got to switch that sort of light bulb on that you can do it, you have got the skills. Commit to it, promise you, you'll get through it. All right, let's come into this section here. As I'm dropping in, this is where my commitment comes in. I'm looking ahead, I can see the ground's pretty wet and loose. Butts back, always looking ahead, confident I can get through this. Oh, nice. Widow with a beardo. Yes, I've got a beard. Woo! Whoa! Oh my God. Oh Lord above, what a trail. And some properly steep sections in that as well. Oh, well that was hellish fun to make. I hope you all enjoyed that video. Next time you go tackle some steep things, hopefully you're enlightened and you can get down them a little bit better. Let me know what you thought in the comments below about how you get on. I'd love to hear all about it, but that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'm over and out. See you later.